Okay, let's go.
Well, hello there, Chick Chatters. We are back with another story of the week. This one is from Relationship Advice, and this was posted 6 hours ago as of this filming, so there's no updates or anything like that. So the story is titled, My 28 male girlfriend, 28 female, slept over at a male friend's place without my knowledge. This
Read
is
that
the...
again.
You didn't hear it?
I heard it, but I just didn't process it.
My 28 male girlfriend, 28 female, slept over at a male friend's place without my knowledge.
Gotcha.
Okay. This is a throwaway account. My 28 male girlfriend, 28 female, and I have been together for about 1.5 years. It's been a mostly positive relationship, and we plan to marry late next year, early 2025. She did something today that made me deeply uncomfortable. My girlfriend and I live in separate condos that are only about 3 minutes walk from each other. This week is the last week before the office closes for the Christmas holiday, and it's been extra busy. I've been working late into the evening and haven't been able to see her as much, but we talk on the phone every day. I called her yesterday evening at work, intending to go visit her, and noticed she was being distant. She wouldn't speak until I spoke and didn't seem eager to continue talking at all. When I finally told her I was coming over, she responded that she was actually going to go visit her friend. Let's call him Dave. She has known Dave for a long time, since childhood. He has been living in a different city for the past 5 years and recently moved to Toronto a couple of months ago. He actually went to the same high school as me, so I know him as well. She has already been to his place a couple of times, and I have no problem with it at all. I told her on the phone to keep me updated. She texted me when she arrived at his place, and that was the last I heard from her. I called her again this morning, and she still had the same distant demeanor. About 2 minutes into the call, I asked her why she was being so quiet on the phone, and she responded, nothing. Then a minute later, I hear a guy's voice. I ask who that was. She waits a couple seconds and then tells me it's Dave. I asked her why she slept over, and she explained that it was late at night and she decided to spend the night, but she slept on the floor in the bedroom. I told her it wasn't okay for her to do that without informing me. She started apologizing, but I just told her I was going to go back to work. My girlfriend has a car. I'm surprised that she would rather sleep on the floor in a guy's bedroom than drive 30 minutes home. But more importantly, I'm hurt that she chose to not let me know beforehand. I would have been okay with it. I really don't want to start thinking the worst case scenarios. Am I overreacting? How should I approach this?
I do not think the person is overreacting by asking the questions that they're asking. It doesn't seem like they're threatening any kind of breakup or anything. They're just mad. I think that's fair. Honestly, if I stayed the night at a girlfriend's house and didn't tell Tyler that I was not at home and somewhere else, regardless of the sex of the person, I don't think he'd be enraged. But it's like, why didn't he tell me?
Right. Well,
It's
because what
kind
if
of
something
weird.
happened? Well, what if something happened to her? You
That's the
know?
thing. I would have that question if we lived closer to home and friends, and Tyler just went to one of his friend's house and spent the night, like a male friend. I would be like, "Why didn't you tell me you weren't at home?" I
Hmm.
I don't think that that's overreacting at all to ask the question. I also find it really bizarre that she slept in his on his bedroom floor. Does
That's
this
weird.
guy not have a couch or a living room or a chair? Bedroom floor is kind of a bizarre place to sleep next to any friend of any
Yeah.
gender.
Well, a lot of times guys will let you have the bed and they'll go somewhere else. I don't know. I'm one of those people that, yes, I have long-term relationships with guy friends and I have no interest in being with them. Otherwise, I already would be. So I'm not really going to accuse her of cheating right out the gate because
Right.
it could be literally innocent and she's just not even interested in this guy. Because, mind you, a lot of us women know that a lot of our guy friends, we could have them if we truly wanted them. We could have
Right.
had them in the beginning, but we decided to keep them as just friends. Not saying that somebody could work their way out of the friend zone. I mean, whatever, but it just feels like they're planning a wedding in a year or so, that they've talked about that kind of thing. It just seems a little bit irrational for her to just like leave for this guy friend. Not saying it's not
Mhm.
possible. It's definitely
Right.
possible. Some of the story is weird. It's weird that she was distant. It's weird that she just wasn't like, "Oh, yeah,
There's
this is what
definitely
happened."
something going on, but
Still
I'm not
weird.
sure that it's cheating. I'm not definitely not ready to jump to that conclusion because that is totally jumping to conclusions. I get that she was, like, sneaky or didn't tell the truth and it's a male, but I don't think that automatically calculates up to she's cheating on him. There could be so many other things going on that she just hasn't told him yet, and, I mean, a lot of those things have nothing to do with them hooking up or anything. It could to be honest, I mean, it could all the way even be that she's hooking up with somebody whole else and she's just saying that it's David because David's safe. Who knows? I mean, you really don't know.
Maybe I didn't think about that, but that totally could
Well,
be a
that's the
cover.
thing. Yeah, I mean, you have no idea really. So,
There's, like, endless possibilities. Maybe one of the reasons she slept on the floor too is, like, if he has roommates or something, like, maybe that's why she did it. We don't know
possible.
about Dave's living situation, but
Yeah, I'm not willing to jump to conclusions about hooking up. Is it possible? Yes, but it's also possible that 1,700 other things happened or that she wasn't even with David at all. I mean, obviously, you have no idea what happened that night. You don't even know where she slept.
and that is concerning, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. That would concern me. I might be looking when the person sees me again, I might be like, "Can I see, like, your texts?" 'Cause
Mhm.
nobody wants to be played either. So, I'm
Right.
not saying that
No,
it's
that's
not
why
possible that she cheated, and I'm not saying that she did cheat, but I'm saying that there's definitely a lot of questions left for the poster.
valid.
Had she called that night, like he said, and told her what she was up to, I'm sure he'd feel a little bit better about it. Doesn't mean that she wouldn't be cheating or not cheating still. Just
Mhm.
because you get permission to stay at somebody's house doesn't mean you're not doing whatever you want. But
Mm.
at the same time, it doesn't also mean that she is either. But I think
Yeah.
she should have communicated a lot better. I don't think the poster isn't wrong or even really overreacting. I think that if you have a gut feeling about something, sometimes that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I was actually reading up a little bit on fidelity stuff recently, and I read in a bunch of studies that it's about 50%, 55% of the time, your intuition is right. So usually go with your intuition. If you feel something is up, you need to be asking questions and you need to
Mhm.
be trying to figure that out. If you
Mhm.
just feel like this was a one off thing, then maybe let it go and see if this happens again. But if she's being weird and distant, that's kind of like a weird off putting thing to me
Well,
because
here's the thing. There is 100%, 100% without a doubt a reason that she did not inform him that night when she decided to stay the night or at any point thereafter, even when he had to go as far as to hear the guy's voice in the background as to figure out that she was really there. There is 100% a reason for that. Is it cheating? Probably not. It's probably she could be getting ready to leave him and just decided she's going to stay somewhere else for the night because she's contemplating leaving her boyfriend. I mean, literally, we
Mhm.
don't know. But there is a reason why she wasn't honest about that or didn't share where she was with him. Even if it's
Yeah.
not common in their relationship, there's a reason that that happened. And there should be a conversation about that 100% because there's a reason.
Yeah. Like, maybe she got drunk, maybe she did drugs, like, maybe she was inebriated or something, and she don't wanna
Mhm.
admit to that, like, who knows? There could be a
Yeah.
million
Maybe
reasons
her, like,
why.
grandpa died and she doesn't wanna tell, like, we just don't know. That's
You
why
truly don't
they
know.
have to talk about it, and the guy is not in the wrong or an asshole or anything for having questions about it. I hope that maybe he tries not to jump to conclusions that it was cheating. It's possible that it was cheating, it's possible she made a mistake. That's totally possible, but I hope that he cares about her enough to maybe if she has a different explanation that he could believe that. And I hope
Yeah.
she's trustworthy enough in the relationship that he's in a place to be able to believe that.
Your worst case scenario, ask Dave. If you know Dave from high school
Yeah.
and you know Dave in general, it wouldn't be weird to be like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
I'd be
like."
like, "I'm about to marry this lady. You guys just play video games and watch movies and she slept on your floor or like you guys hooking up?"
Yeah. It's not a weird thing. You'd rather have your answers now than be planning a wedding in 2025 and be wondering what happened this night. I feel
For
like this
sure.
is definitely a conversation that you can have with her for sure. You're gonna have to talk to her about it and be like, "What
Yeah.
is up with you? Why are you so distant? Why this? Why that?"
Mhm.
Like, you
Yeah,
have
are you
questions.
okay? Maybe start with that and doing some concerning things like being distant and staying places you don't usually stay. Are you okay? What's going on? Maybe don't start with, "Are you cheating on me?" That might start a defensive conversation, but just noticing that things are weird. I mean, she has something she needs to explain. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, and it seems like she stayed there or something before and he didn't care as long as he knows. This guy seems kinda reasonable.
it sounds like it's even common for her to spend the night there sometimes. It's just the fact that she didn't tell him, and there is a reason she
Yeah.
didn't tell him.
See, I have more questions than answers when it comes to this. I mean, there's a bunch of possibilities. Yeah, she could be cheating. I mean, we can't discount that. She really could be
She could.
cheating. She could have decided, "You know what? I've been friends with this guy for so long, and maybe he is what I want." Sometimes people do develop that thing over time after a while, but it's definitely something you can't just, like, leave where it is. Obviously, you
Right,
feel away enough to post this on Reddit to try to get advice.
right.
So, there's something up and you feel something is up in some way, whether it's cheating or whether it's like, "What's going on with my girlfriend? Is she going through a mental break? What's happening? Why am I not really hearing from her?
She
Did she
knows.
find something that I've
Right.
done?" Or like, there's so many possibilities. Maybe she had like a weird day with him and she's like, "Maybe I don't want to be with this guy anymore." Who knows? They don't live together. So it's hard to
Yeah.
tell where she is all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't put a
anything could
camera
have
on her.
happened while you've been busy at work, and maybe she just doesn't feel comfortable or doesn't think it's the right time to talk to you about it yet, and she went to David's house to talk to her close friend, and she fell asleep on the floor. I mean, it's a possibility. I hope that if that's what happened, that he can accept that and doesn't just think that, she's awful, but again, she could have made a horrible mistake. Who knows?
Well, we're gonna go to the comments. So far, the top comment, which only has 49 votes because, mind you, this post is literally a couple hours old. So the top comment so far says, "So it's worth noting I'm a stranger online and I don't know her, but it sounds to me like she cheated. Even if she didn't, it's highly inappropriate. Sleeping over with just the two of them without any communication, yeah, either she's cheating or has absolutely no respect for you." It seems like a lot of the commenters think that she's cheating. I do think her behavior is a little bit odd that she's
There's
just
something
sitting.
going on.
It's a possibility. We don't
It's
wanna
in there.
jump to conclusions. It's definitely a possibility. She's being weird. She didn't say anything, and if he's so open about it to the point where he doesn't mind that she does it, why not just shoot him a text and be like, "Hey, I'm doing this." Mind you, even if she did that, she could still be cheating. Just because she got permission that
Yeah.
night to stay there doesn't mean that she didn't just crawl up in the bed and have a good time. Somebody said, "My guy, she cheated on you. Why would she be whispering if she slept in the bathroom?" Dude
The
was probably
bathroom.
still asleep in the bed next to her. I think he meant, like, the bedroom, but he said bathroom, but why would she
Right.
be whispering is what they're saying. Dude was probably still asleep in the bed next to her.
I'm not ruling it out. I think all those comments are fine. I don't know, I'm not a fan of jumping to conclusions. If you guys are thinking about getting married, maybe there's something else possibly going on, but there is something going on. There's a reason she didn't tell you. She's obviously hiding something from you, and you're gonna have to figure out what that is. That might be a tough conversation.
Well, like you said, the bedroom floor is just a weird place to sleep, even with a
So
roommate.
strange.
Why don't you go to the couch? You had a
Yeah.
roommate, and I always slept on your couch. I get it could be a guy roommate, and maybe she doesn't wanna wake up to I don't know, but it is a weird place to sleep. It could be because he has a roommate or something. I don't know his living
Mhm.
situation. Maybe he's got parents there. I don't know, but it's still weird to be on the bedroom floor. Someone else commented, "Nope, I'd change those 2025."
I agree. We don't just move on from this and do nothing about it. There has to, at minimum, be a conversation of like, what happened, what is going on. I think it would be appropriate if the person, like you said, wanted to maybe go through their phone. I feel like people are entitled to their privacy, but this is a situation where there was a lie by omission. So something needs to be
Yeah.
explained. It needs to be explained fully and wholly. We need to have receipts. We need to be able to prove what you're saying is trustworthy. But again, I hope that if for some reason this is not what it looks like, he can accept that answer for now and just keep his eye out for potential in the future.
So this commenter says, "Cut your losses, bro. Would she be okay with you sleeping over at a girl's place when you can get home in 30 minutes?" 30 minutes is not a long drive. I
No.
I
As long
live
as you're
30
sober,
minutes.
it's totally fine. If they were drunk, again, there's a couch, there's a something else. It's still strange that they weren't upfront about it. That's not okay. I'm just saying it might not be the sex.
It might not be. I mean, and cheating isn't just that either. Maybe they kissed. Maybe they had like a weird, awkward moment where like they were talking
Mhm.
about stuff and something happened, or maybe they didn't go all the way. It is really inappropriate to sleep in the man's bedroom on the floor. I don't care if he's your best friend. It is a little bit weird to be in the same room and
I
to not
agree.
say anything to the man that is your fiance, I guess, because y'all are
I
talking about getting married in a year. I don't
That was
know.
the thing, you'll see it when you edit this, like, as soon as she told me she slept on the floor, I was like, "You slept on the where?
I was
With
like, the
who?
what?
What?
With who?
Slept on the
With
floor?"
what?
I could just see an attempt maybe to sleep on the floor, even if it has a kernel of truth, and then being like, "Oh, this is so uncomfortable, maybe we should sleep." No, I just weird, weird. All that part sounds really weird to me.
I'm
I would have a
driving.
lot of questions about the floor.
I am driving 30 minutes home before I sleep on
I
a
sleep on the
guy's
floor of
dirty
anybody.
floor.
If I am in love with this man secretly, I'm not sleeping on his fucking floor. I'm not. I'm gonna go home and sleep in my bed and break it to my man slowly that we gotta break up, but I'm not sleeping on his floor. Like,
Who knows what's on this man's floor? You know?
yeah, honestly, or anybody's floor. I'm just not doing it. I'm not sleeping on maybe I'd sleep on, like, Beyoncé's floor, but other than that, no,
Maybe
no.
a clean floor with an air mattress or something, but, like, a lot of times
But
these
that's not the
guys
floor. The air mattress is not the floor.
a lot of times these guys have, like, messy rooms, have clothes
Yeah.
everywhere,
No, you're
whatever.
probably sleeping next to his dirty ass boxers. If this is a straight man, the likelihood of you smelling some stanky ass while you're sleeping is above 50%.
I can't say that it's never happened or whatever, but in my experiences, when I've stayed the night at a guy's friend's house or whatever, they'll usually offer me the bed or they'll
True,
offer me a more comfortable place to sleep than the damn floor.
true.
Or you could have called this guy to come pick you up. It's only 30 minutes. It's not that long. I used to live 30 minutes from like everything. So I always
Mhm.
drove 30 minutes to go literally anywhere, 30, 40
Yeah,
minutes. And I always drove it back. I was fine. Unless,
true.
like you said, you're intoxicated or something or inebriated. That's not a long drive. In fact, a lot of times you want to get on that drive. You want to go to Taco Bell. You want to go hit a
Like,
fast food place.
if you're drunk and you're really just chilling at your friend's house who's your longtime friend, then don't you just call your boyfriend or your fiance and say, "Hey, I'm drunk. I'm gonna fall asleep on the floor."
Yeah, these comments are fun. Someone said, "Her telling you that she slept on the floor is total bullshit, in my opinion. What guy is going
Thank
to
you.
make a woman sleep on the floor in this scenario?"
There's so many holes in that part of the story. Again, there's something going on. I get that the jump to conclusion is the cheating, but you just don't know. Could be anything.
It's just weird. She's got some explaining to do.
So
Um,
much, especially about the floor. I have more questions about the floor than why she didn't tell him.
I do, like, why were you on the
Because it's
floor?
not true. There's no way. There's no way that either you slept on the floor and you slept there all night long. There's no way that he didn't offer. I just
Someone said, "Oh man, yeah, I don't think this is okay. When you're in a relationship and have friends of the opposite sex, it feels assumed that the expectations are a little different and require more communication. She should have at
Mhm.
least told you where she was for safety purposes, or better yet, just driven herself home or asked for a ride. I don't know her, but what I will say as a woman is that it seems very likely she cheated. I'm married, and while I have male friends from childhood who are friends with my whole family, I can't think of a single reason why I would stay overnight with them unless I was cheating. I would much rather be at home with my husband. And it's not just the fact that she slept over, but the behavior, being distant, speaking quietly, and only when spoken to. Like the man she was with didn't know you were calling or even together. Like, come on. That is weird that she was whispering and stuff. This guy probably knows that y'all are together. You could just be like, hey, yeah, he's on the phone. Reminds me of my friend Arthur or something. Like if I were to pass out at Arthur's house and Dean were to call me, I'd probably hear Arthur right away because he's a loud person and he's very like,
Exactly, like, there should be some communication between everybody if this is a healthy friendship.
a
You're at dude's
FaceTime
house
call.
and you're friends with dude for forever, even before you started dating, your fiancé or whatever. If you're there, then there should be like a, "Hey, man, what's up?" in the background, not like a whispered, muffled, like, just like the person said, it requires more open communication than even
Right.
just if I were to accidentally fall asleep at your house. Tyler wouldn't have as many questions about that, but still, it's like, why aren't you communicating kind of thing? Like, opposite sex relationships require
More.
an extended amount of communication, and that's
Yeah.
appropriate. There is an expectation that you're not out here doing crazy things. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, because if it were to happen to me and Dean were to call me and I was at Arthur's house or something, like, for one, yeah, he'd hear him right away because he's loud and always talking. And Darth would be like, "Oh, who's that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, it's Dean." Speakerphone would probably be happening and FaceTime or
Yeah.
something. Like, I'm not trying to look shady, and I wouldn't be sitting here whispering, and only speaking when spoken to. That's so weird. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
she's in
and,
a
like, you're
funk.
just
I think they said this has been going on for a little bit where she's been distant. I don't know if she's
that
been carrying on this relationship for a few days or if she's just got something going on that she's just not really being upfront about. So I don't want to discount that she's just kind of going through something.
that's
Hasn't.
really the part that honestly made me think that maybe it's just not worth jumping to conclusions that she's cheating, because I feel like someone who's cheating, especially if she already told him, "I'm going to this person's house," I feel like they would go through efforts to try to cover that up. I don't know.
And I'm not gonna say either that the intention maybe was just go over there and maybe something just happened because we're all human and things just can happen. They've been friends for a while. Maybe he has had a crush on her for a long time. You don't know. A lot of them relationships be like that where one person has a crush and one person is just not interested. So that's why it never
Mhm,
blossomed further than a friendship. So I'm not
mhm.
gonna discount it. I don't know. She definitely has some explaining to do.
It's like a 50% chance that she made a horrible mistake and cheated on him, and a 50% chance that it could be literally anything else, good,
Mhm.
bad, in between.
Someone else commented, this would be the last one I read. I mean, almost most of the comments are like she cheated or like she's cheating or whatever. This comment says, "Sorry, man. I I could be wrong, but I've been told the whole I slept on the couch thing before, but the floor, honestly, the acting distant part throws it off. If he was all innocent, she would have been straight up with you, especially that y'all plan to marry and she's not updating you. That's highly disrespectful. Good luck, but I don't believe she slept on the floor when her home was 30 minutes away. Anyone with
Mm.
any respect would have told you or knew it was wrong and drove home. Nobody likes that she slept on the floor."
Because it's weird and it didn't happen. I'm telling you right now, it just didn't happen.
You know
Like,
what's funny? Maybe it's because I grew up at my aunt's house where we all slept on the floor, so sleeping on the floor isn't that weird to me, but I guess sleeping at another man's house in his room on the floor is a little
in
weird.
secret,
In
in
secret
secret,
and whispering, that's weird.
'cause it didn't
If it was
happen.
on his living room floor and there were other people there and there just wasn't many
Mhm.
places to sleep,
Right, like a
damn.
big sleepover. I could get even I slept on the living room floor. I slept on his bedroom floor. Why do you need to be that close to him? Even if that did happen, which I'm telling you didn't happen. Why do you need to sleep right there next to him?
Do you know
For
who
wh
sleeps on my bedroom floor? My dog. My dog.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that needs to be that close to me all the time where he's either in my bed or on the floor,
100%.
whatever. I wouldn't put my friends there. And even if one of my
Yes.
friends fell asleep there, even if I had a friend, anybody coming to my house, and they fell asleep on my bedroom floor, I'd probably wake them up and be like, "Hey, there's a more comfortable place to sleep. Let me go put you on my couch." I wouldn't just let somebody sleep on my floor. So yeah, that's weird to me. But
It is. That's a very true statement.
if you fell asleep on my floor, I'd be like, Brooke, let me put you in a bed or a couch or like a homeless shelter. You're not going to sleep on my floor." So there's no comments from OP or any updates yet because literally this post is 6, 7 hours old. So we will be keeping an eye on it in case there is a update, and maybe we will put this also in their comments if they want to get our opinion. But it seems like they're getting a lot of very opinionated opinions about cheating, and I don't want them to just jump to that conclusion. Although I'm not going to say it's not likely because
Mhm.
literally anything is possible.
I
A
do
lot of
like the way
conversation.
I put it before. It's like a 50% chance that she's cheating. It's like a 50% chance that literally anything else could go on. And you just are going to have to talk to her about it and see what she says.
And get a feel for her demeanor as you're talking to her. If
Mhm.
you're talking to her and she's still being weird,
Yeah.
raise an eyebrow. Whatever you are feeling when you are talking to her and whatever feeling she's giving you, run with
Mhm.
that.
She's
Probably
gotta
will be.
be coming with receipts, kinda ready to at least prove that a little something she's saying is factual, because she has been deceitful already. So she's gotta
Mhm.
kinda buff up the communication if she's wanting to get anywhere with the truth. Unless she
Yeah.
cheated, then she just gonna have to tell him.
And y'all been together a year and a half. I know that sometimes people move really fast with marriages and stuff. Trust me, I got married after a year and a half, but it's not always the best idea to be like jumping into all that. Like, give yourself some time. You don't need to be planning a wedding for 2025. Just figure out where she's at and maybe have the conversations.
There's something going on that you guys need to talk about, and it might not just be one conversation. It might be, might take some work.
Yeah. But that's where we're going to leave it, Chick Chatters. We're going to try to keep it positive, and hopefully we get an update with this one,
Yeah.
along with many others. But we'll see you next time.
All right, Chick Chatters. Bye bye.
Maybe.